What's up, everybody? It's your boy Andrew L. Case. You are now tuned into the Middle Initial Podcast. Today is September 12th, almost forgot, 2023. And I'm here with Kevin A. Lewis. Jude could not be here tonight because he lost his voice. Uh, I guess for Kev, thank God. He lost his voice last night in this game. We'll get into that.
He will be mentioned. Don't worry. But go ahead.
We'll definitely get into that. Kev, I don't know where to go. Like, how was your weekend? I really can't call it, man. Like, where do we begin?
I mean, my weekend wasn't great. I was battling a fucking sickness, and then the Jets made me sick again, all over again. Now I am healthier, and they are not. Like I'm healthier physically, they are not, and I am not healthy or as healthy as I could be spiritually. I guess. Like I will be fine, but not the greatest day. Put it that way.
To quote a famous Jay-Z song, it was all good just a week ago.
Man,
Um,
brother, a week, nigga, a week, bruh. I tweeted like not to derail right from drunk, but I tweeted at like 8:15. The vibes are immaculate, brother. That tweet aged like bananas, bro. Like not even 20 minutes later, I quote tweeted myself like, "Boy, that didn't last long."
bro, listen, man, we're gonna get right into it. But of course, let's start the show.
You are now tuned in to the Middle Initial Podcast, bitch. Now everybody pod nowadays, but it pays when you listen to Jude, Kevin, Case, and in case you missed it, get your spirits lifted. Man, New York's getting covered just to be specific. When the beast will kick it, you get back. Yeah, listen one time, I promise you come back. No, we switching up a topic, you know that we come pack. And I don't want to say it.
I don't know what just happened on that intro. Sound like it skipped out, but
Huh?
yeah, let's just ignore that real quick. Let's jump right into it, man. Topic of the day. It's over before it started. Um, unless you've been living under a rock and you have been paying attention, Aaron Rodgers is officially out for the remainder of the 2023 NFL season. Um, he ruptured his Achilles on the fourth play on offensive drive in the first quarter. Um, somehow we won, and we'll get into that. We'll get into that portion as well as how we won. But Kev, man, grand opening, grand closing, in the most unique uh fashion. I mean, I guess.
Is it? But is it unique though? Like we watched 1999. This the same shit. Like yeah. Grant, like the same damn injury to boot.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. Like yes, I get different surrounding context, different guy coming off a different team. Blah 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 blah. Is the same shit. But like it's just one of those. First of all, full disclaimer. I know I shouldn't be saying this considering we have a podcast. But brother, if you are not here for negativity today, you might as well turn it off. I'm just going to tell you that right now, and I know that's counterproductive. We have a podcast. I don't really do this for y'all anyway. I'm just going to keep it all the way. I am just going to keep this all the way real. Like I do this for us. Anywho, um, it's not even something you could really be mad. Well, I'm not. I can speak for me. I'm not mad about this. Like, there's nothing to be mad about because the Jets won the game. Yes, that's very secondary. But I'm proud of those dudes because they could have quit. Like, yes, I know they're professional athletes, and we do the thing where they're millionaires, bro. When you walk, they did the whole training camp. They did hard knocks. They've been like
One good drive.
right, like all the hype, and we watched last year. We've seen how these kids, and I call them kids because a lot of them are like 23, 24. Like we've seen how these kids want to go out there and compete. They wanted to have a legitimate shot. They wanted to play meaningful football. Yo, to have that thrown away on the first drive, and to come back from a 10-point deficit against every America's favorite team, like we'll get into them in a bit. America's favorite fucking team. That's a big deal. So like to get the positive out of the way, that's positive. And I'm very happy for Xavier Gibson. Great moment for that kid. Love it for him. Like one of the last
Could write a better script.
and like in his first game on 9/11 in New York City, he did that to win a football game. Great for him. Good for him. Now, the other side. This might sound crass. Say it anyway. If it was somebody besides Aaron Rodgers, I'd stop caring hours ago. Like, I know how that sounds, but like, you know how I feel about Rodgers, the player. Like, we've been having discussions about Rodgers. I've known you a long time. I don't know how long time.
A good amount of time.
Yeah. My affinity for Rodgers.
Right.
That doubles this sadness for me. Because, like, I'm not going to get into his future. I'm not going to get into that too much because thinking about a 40-year-old coming off a torn Achilles, I don't feel like thinking about that right now. I haven't even registered fully what the fuck, let alone I'm thinking about what's going to happen in 2024. Motherfucker, I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast. I'm not trying to think about a year in advance. So forgive me for that. But like, there's a non-zero chance that the following happened. I watched the Jets trade for my favorite quarterback of all time. And it made sense for them to do so. It wasn't like, oh, he's washed and they're doing this for it. It made sense. Everything aligned. I watched an offseason full of hope and hype around said favorite quarterback of all time. And then I also might have watched him take his last snap on Jets turf and snap his Achilles in the process.
Yeah.
And like, to loop Jude in here, because he said in Discord pissed me. Like, there isn't many things that people could say to legitimately anger me. You know me. I am the most even kill nigga you and me. That whole, I'm just tired of the constant complaint. Listen, I am the first one to call you a grump.
That is true.
I'm the first one. Yesterday, I said I'm gonna have to waive that for at least a week. That's true, correct? I said I'm gonna have to waive that.
That is true.
Grunt for all of us this week, buddy, all of us. But Jude saying this when it's like, bro, the Jets' best case scenario as of 8:15 p.m. Eastern time yesterday was what case?
The best case scenario
for the season.
Oh, Super Bowl, AFC Championship. Yeah, that was the best case.
Let's say they don't acquire a significant. I don't even know what significant means because all the quarterbacks are different level of bum. Basically, that's a level. But like, let's say they don't acquire anybody significant. They just acquire somebody to back up Zach. What's their best case scenario now?
Wild card, if that, you know what I mean? Or barely making it.
Bro, and not even 24 hours later, we're talking about this morning, Jude is making these comments in the Discord.
Right.
Talking about, I'm tired of the complaints. Brother, the Jets season died at 8:28 Eastern time in their first game.
Right.
If we can't complain about that, what the fuck are we supposed to complain about? Like, I watched Jude complain about Sam Darnold every Monday morning at 5:45 a.m. Dark as hell outside, birds not even up, crust fresh in his eye, making 8 fucking thread tweets about Sam Darnold, who, quite frankly, all Sam Darnold did here was play football poorly, take accountability for playing football poorly, and look like a beaten man while he was playing football poorly. He ain't do nothing to nobody. And he was writing them tweets every single fucking Monday morning. But God forbid the Jets lose their literal Super Bowl hopes in a dash, in a drive. Like, not even like this happened week 10. I'm not saying that make it better, but like, shit, it didn't even start.
Right.
The car didn't even fucking start before it blew up.
Right.
And we're not supposed, like, oh, I can't believe people are complaining. And I know I've been going on for like 4 minutes. I apologize. This is not going to be a structured podcast episode. If you don't like negativity and you like structure, this is not the episode for you. Like, it's not. But like, that pissed me off. Like, from Jude. If anybody else says that shit, scroll on past. Do you?
Right.
Jude has complained enough about the Jets for 17 lifetimes. And of all day, for you to be mad at Jets fans complaining, you want to pick today? The fucking gall.
Yeah. Yo, bro, I guess this journey of waiting and anticipating, right? Because I'm coming from a different angle with this. We, shout out to the Discord, shout out to the Patreon, shout out to Stefan, Rodney, Tori, Spyro, Lee Thuggin, whoever, y'all know who we are, Mike, whoever pops in and out, Steven. We've been going, Dan, of course, we've been going in and out, back and forth all like summer, like scenarios, quarterback, offensive line, wide receivers. Like we was going full head. And then after the last preseason game, it was like, guys, this is great. It's time to get excited. Like the negativity is behind us. The offensive line is this. The receiving core is that. The defense is this. It's all behind us now. Let's get ready for this game. And because we were the last game of the week, we got to see other teams fall. Like we got to see Pat Mahomes struggle, right? Without Travis Kelce. We got to see the Giants get their dicks kicked in 40-0, like no show, right? And I'm building up to the energy. Monday night, people are DMing me. Oh, the Jets are about to lose. Y'all think like the shit talking starts piling on, right? Mind you, all the shit talking we do to each other in support of our team and how we feel the team should be ran. Now the new shit talking is coming, like your team not going to be good. Aaron Rodgers is old, blah, blah, blah. So when that play happens and he goes down and he gets up and it like falls back in that little cradle rock and stretches, I'm like, I'm hoping that he's just pissed off at the fact that he's been hit 3 times already in his opening drive. And he's just like, you know what? I'm hurt. I'm going to take a seat because y'all got to fix this. That was my initial thought. Like, all right, now I'm hurt. I got to sit down for a play because he looked like he walked out with some assistance. So I was like, I don't know what it was. I'm not speculating. Monty Jones had tweeted out, if you can tell me what happened from your couch right
He's
now.
Right. He's so right.
You're a beast.
He's so right. Like my take when he got up and then went back down was, I mean, I can say it now because he's done, but it was wildly negative. I was like, I've watched Aaron Rodgers play football for like 17 years, 18, however long he's been in the league. Dog, right. If this was a sprained ankle, he'd have given it a go.
Right.
Like, he would have given it a go. I'm not saying he'd have finished the game. Maybe it's another drive and they take him out and they ice it up. Maybe. But would he have come out that minute? Right. At minimum, like he wouldn't have been on the damn turf. Like once he got back down, I'm like, that reeks of somebody who got up and realized they can't do this no more. That's what it felt like to me. Now, I ain't no doctor, but it was just like I know him, or I know him well enough through sports, whatever. Right. I know him. It's just like, yo, if on this particular evening, no less, if he could tough it out, even remotely, even if it's for a drive, 2 drive, he was gonna fucking play. He got back down, and I had no I couldn't speak if I tried. Like that's how if I fixed my mouth to make words come out of him, words wouldn't come out. That's how I just sat there. I was like,
yeah,
this can't be happening. Like you can't we didn't even get one fucking completion, bro. Not even one, dog. Not even a full drive.
We got the Breece Hall run, the 26-yard run on the first carry,
and 2 incompletions. One incompletion on the sack. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I think it was 3 plays total, 4, whatever it was.
4. It was I think
not to be fucking joking, dog. Not one completion, dog. Not one.
So I got a message saying wow, and I was like, okay, he's hurt. I didn't speculate. You know what I mean? I couldn't speculate. I jumped into the Discord. Stefan was like, yo, he dislocated his ankle. I was like, I guess I'm not a professional. I don't know.
Right?
Because it didn't look like he.
No medical report on this. No,
none.
I'm not gonna guess.
Mike had said, "Oh, you know, it's Achilles or something like that." Or he saw me. I was like, "I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to speculate." Then I saw a slow motion, and I saw his calf do a little shake, and I just instantly had a flashback to Kevin Durant in the NBA Finals 2019. And Kevin Durant's Achilles break was more violent, and maybe because it was HD, it's not rainy, it's not no mist or nothing like that, so you can see where he stretches his leg out and it popped. And plus, he had the nagging calf injury, of course, like he's always calf or whatever. And they always say that because it's all connected, people think it's the calf and it's actually Achilles. Now, Rodgers did have a calf situation. It was the right calf, and then it was his hurt calf, and then it was his healthy calf. That's what talk was going on in camp. So it makes sense that, of course, Achilles, but they kept saying ankle. And I'm just like, yeah, they don't know what's going on if they're saying ankle, because it didn't look like he twisted it, rolled it, or anything like that. But I'll say this much. My energy wasn't negative. I just was like, hey, this game is still winnable, because I just don't believe in Buffalo. Like, I believe in our defense, and I don't believe in Buffalo.
Way about the game.
Right.
Season, way different topic, but I felt the same way about the game.
But the reason why, you know what's funny? And this there's one thing that did happen. I'm wearing the Aaron Rodgers shirt. Maybe I should have worn the Aaron Rodgers shirt last night. I put on the Joe Namath tee, the Joe Namath tee last night. Put that on last night to watch the game.
I have words about Joe Namath that I don't know if I can say on this podcast.
I put on the Joe Namath,
but yeah,
I put on the Joe Namath tee. Shout out to our store, MIPod.store. Go to MIPod.store for our merch. I put on the Joe Namath guarantee tee. He hurt himself. I took the shirt off, bro. I sat there shirtless. I'm like, there's no way we're this unlucky as a franchise. Like, there's no way.
You taking off the Joe Namath shirt after that happened is symbolic, and I'll tell you why. If we get canceled, we get canceled. We had a good run. The Jets are never going to be about shit as long as Joe Namath is walking the earth with us. I said what I said. I ain't wishing nothing on nobody. Let me make myself clear. Not wishing nothing on nobody. It's not that serious for me. All I'm saying is that man sold his soul to the devil in 1969. You can't tell me otherwise. As long as he walking around, he sold his soul to the devil. He wanted to be the one. The only one who's ever done it. As long as he walking earth with us, the Jets are never going to be about shit. I have never been more clear in my convictions than today. Like, I've thought that for a while. I've never been more like previous Jet stuff is like, it's just predictable, the usual, like Ryan Fitzpatrick lighting the 15th season. Anybody could have seen that coming, right? Mm-hmm. I was telling people that was going to happen since October. Anybody could have seen that shit happening. Yo, the Jets getting a Hall of Fame quarterback when it makes sense for them to get a Hall of Fame quarterback, and then this happening before he could even complete a fucking pass in the uniform tells me, yo, there's some other shit going on here. Like, and yo, as long as Joe walking earth with us, yo, they're never gonna be about shit. Like, take that.
Yo, it got to be something, man. But I remain positive, and I'm glad I remain positive. Shout out to Breece Hall for the two exciting plays. The first, the 26-yard rush on your first carry. Thank you for that. The 83-yard rush, which, you know, that angle, we didn't see the hole that the Jets offensive line put out there. Shout out to Rucker, who was literally sprinting downfield to make blocks. Somebody had pointed out saying Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson was behind the field. He was trying to catch up. But Rucker was running down the field like full sprint, and he was not too far from Breece. Garrett
was a little bit too confident in Breece's condition.
He was
a little bit too confident. Like, he made up for it later on, and I'm not going to kill the kid because Garrett busts his ass and da-da-da-da. Like, it was a mistake, and he'd be the first one to tell you, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But Breece, listen, Breece
in 7 weeks houses that. I have no doubt in my mind.
Bro,
Breece houses that shit.
Breece housed that last year for 63 yards versus Denver?
I think it was more than that. But
or 69. It was something like that.
It was a long ass.
It was a long run, or 72, something like that. But he housed it last year, and he was like, I like the two plays. Let me see, it's like 3 or 4. My kids were sleeping, so Amar was sleeping, Hassan was sleeping. They were in bed. It was me in the room, and I probably made noise. I want to say 6 times, 7 times. The interceptions, the Whitehead 3 interceptions. I think the last one, the last interception, third one, I went nuts on that one. The Gibson, I couldn't contain myself on Gibson, bro. I tried. Like, I literally got up and walked out the room to the hallway, and I screamed, like, I couldn't do it, bro. Woke up the whole house. That the Jets had the show resolved. Of course, the Garrett Wilson catch. We do not forget that. The Garrett Wilson catch was fucking outrageous, bro. Outrageous. And people want to down Zach for that pass. Look, that defender was all over Garrett. There was no other way. Like, he put the ball where he needed to be.
No, he didn't. As I said, it's going to be negative.
You be negative.
That was a fuck ass throw.
I'm going to say because he checked out
shoulder fade to the fucking front shoulder. Like, bro, put it even simpler than that. When have you ever seen a quarterback throw a fade and watch a wide receiver have to play defense before he plays offense and then still catch the ball for a touchdown?
Listen, I don't disagree with you, but the way I disagree with you is only because on the replay he was being held and there was no flag on that play.
Right. That's a separate issue.
He had to reach out with one hand, but just that like phenomenal.
Insane catch.
Phenomenal insane catch.
And I've never seen Joe Buck that excited about anything, by the way. I don't know I've never seen that.
I watched it.
I was like, wow, is that Joe Buck?
Yeah, he was excited.
Yeah.
Josh Allen looked like shit. The Jets pretty much. I mean, outside of Stephon Diggs, who pretty much has Sauce Gardner's number all night. There was nothing really for me to be mad at outside of the Rodgers thing. And I think because I was just so into just saying, we can still win this because the Bills are trash, I kind of put it to the back burner. But I went on Instagram, I talked my shit. I said we won 1-0, even when Rodgers went down, because they all got quiet after we won. No more DM, no conversation. But as now you wake up the next day and you look at the fans, and it's like, it sucks. It sucks for a lot of people. It sucks for the people who stopped buying season tickets and all of a sudden popped up. It sucks for the season ticket holders who had hope. It sucks for the new fans, the fair weather fans who come in. Like, there's 16 games left. We're 1-0. What the fuck is going to happen? And like you said, the quarterbacks that are available, like,
there's a reason that they're available.
There's a reason they're available.
Like, I'm not going to tell anybody how to, I guess, internally and externally cope with this as far as like what quarterbacks we want to sign or whatever. Do you? But like this, they should what you call it? They should trade for that Ryan thing was
yeah.
I'm like, what just start Zach Wilson for all of that. Like, bro, you listen. You invested in the number 2 pick in this kid, right? That's number 1. Number 2, y'all been feeding us. I said I was gonna be negative. Let's get negative. Y'all been feeding us bullshit the whole fucking summer about this kid, about how he's this, that, and the third. Aaron Rodgers is God. He's feeding him this. He's giving him the magic pause. Whatever else. You've been feeding us nonsense the whole fucking summer. Okay, act on it then. You've been feeding us nonsense the whole fucking summer. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to fucking hear it. Like, this kid has been treated like a Make-A-Wish quarterback for 3 years. Like, even last night, it's like, I'm not going to bury him. Like, I think he's ass. Like, I'll bury him in the macro. The micro, the game itself, I'm not going to bury him for that. Because realistically, like, it's an impossible situation to get thrown into. Really. Like, if you're not expecting to fucking play. Right. You're getting booed as you walk into the game, which is kind of wild to me. Like,
he not even starting anymore.
He didn't fucking tear the guy's Achilles. What are you booing him for? Right? Why is it fucking for?
Why is it fuck me for?
Why is it fucking for? He didn't tear the guy's Achilles. What do you want him to fucking do? But hey, man, you listen. He played so well. It's like, can we just say he didn't fuck the game up and just leave it at that? We don't have to lie. He made 2 good throws in 4 quarters. We really don't have to do the most. Oh, he didn't, and like he directly led to a Buffalo field goal with a moronic interception, the same type of moronic interception he's thrown for now 3 years, and we have to lie. Like, just be happy they won the game, bro. Like, cope how you want to cope. Just don't lie. That's what I'm asking. You can cope how you want to cope. If you believe in Zach, that's your business. I'm not here to tell nobody not to believe in Zach. People still believe in Santa Claus. People still believe in the Tooth Fairy. People still believe, well, not going to go there. But, yeah, man, like, what are we doing here? Believe in what you want to believe. Stop lying in my face, dude. Like, stop. Like, in one of my group chats today, it was like, that throw for the touchdown was actually a good throw. Are you fucking blind? Are you blind? Are you visually fucking impaired? If you want to say it wasn't a bad throw, that is at least somewhat arguable. I don't know how, but it is fine. Do you? It was actually a good throw. A back shoulder fade being thrown to the front fucking shoulder is not a good throw on this planet or the next one. But yo, y'all been telling me this, that, and the third about Zach. Throw him out there. Let's see what happens. Oh, and also, I pulled up the quotes from Zach about the little thinly veiled shots you were throwing at LaFleur. Okay, not here no more.
Right.
You trust in the coaching staff. Well, we're going to see how it looks, because last night it looked like they were terrified of Zach Wilson, which, guess what? That looks exactly like what Mike
last year
has.
Yeah. Bro, the things that pissed me off today when I saw the tweet about Flacco gave the Jets a call, and I'm like, who the fuck picked up? Who picked up? Because I'm hanging up immediately. Hey, what's going on? Hey, it's Joe. Joe who? Flacco? Click.
Yo, bro.
Who? Bro, can you imagine again Flacco, Wilson, and now Boyle instead of Streveler? Like I don't
Andrew, I'm not even gonna imagine that catastrophe of a quarterback depth chart. I'm just gonna ask a really serious question. And I know for a fact, well, not a fact. I could take a wild guess and be pretty much right. Some athletes don't like their families. They don't. Joe Flacco must detest his family. We watched Joe Flacco play being the operative word here, and football being the second operative word here. I don't know what he was doing. It wasn't playing football. But we watched him play football last year, right? Mm-hmm. From the minute the season started last year and Zach was out the first 3 games, was I not saying that he was playing like somebody who wanted to be a family man?
That's true.
He was playing like somebody who
I'm ready to go home.
Right. Basically, the only person more upset than Zach that he got hurt was Joe Flacco. He didn't want to play. That's how he played. Yeah. And then now he's giving the call because he wants back. What other conclusion am I supposed to draw outside of he likes free money? And he's not even going to get that much of that because he doesn't have a fucking market. So, he's coming back for $750,000 prorated. Like, that's chump change to them. Right. What conclusion am I supposed to draw outside of, that man does not want to be around his kids? What conclusion am I supposed to fucking draw outside of that?
I just love the unmitigated gall that you reached out. I just love what do you think you could contribute? Like we saw what you could.
Wait. I am not going to sit here and say anything about this man's gall. You know why I'm not going to? Because they let him go in an offseason and traded a pick to get him back 3 months later.
They did, which was
Why would he not have the gall? They've shown they value him for reasons unfucking known.
Unbeknownst to me.
They have shown that they value this man for reasons that I cannot fathom. So I'm not going to get him for the gall at all. I'm just going to wonder what the fuck is going on at home. That's my question. Fuck all the other questions. What is going on at home?
I don't know. The names being thrown out.
This kid must have the most awful vibes. I'm sorry to cut you out. I just want to get that. Go ahead.
The names being thrown out. Matt Stafford. I'm just like, there's no reason. I mean, I know the thing with the Rams, what happened last year. But after that first game, there's no reason for them to be fielding calls to Matt Stafford unless they really feel like we're going to start over and go for another quarterback. But I don't understand why Jets fans want Stafford because you have to take on another ridiculous contract that, yes, his base is low this year, but he's not a rental if you trade for him. He still has another whole year and an option year for 2 more years. I didn't get that one. I didn't get the Jamel Hill talking about rhymes with Kaepernick and talking about getting Colin Kaepernick to come play. Jamel, sister, queen, we love you.
No. Time out. Nope. 20 seconds.
Maybe you don't.
I don't. Do not speak for me. I don't care for Jamel.
Jamel.
I'm not going to disparage the woman, but I don't care for her at all.
Sister, I'm saying it. Queen, love you. Sometimes. I'm not trying to silence a woman, but just sometimes. Because I don't know what made you think tweeting out Colin Kaepernick.
I guess I'm just going to be the bad cop this whole episode. That's fine. I'm cool with it. I will be fine. I will be the one to say sometimes it's okay to shut the fuck up. I'll be the one to say it. Sometimes it's okay to shut the fuck up. Because here's the thing with, me personally, a lot of the dudes, a lot of people who watch this, listen to us, they know me somewhat well. I don't say nothing disparaging about women. I love women. I don't say nothing to certain women that I wouldn't also say to a man who's doing the same shit. So this is not an anti-woman stance. If you say fucking idiot shit all the time, I'm gonna say you're a fucking idiot. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care what race you are. If you dumb, you dumb. And Jamel just be on some dumb shit all the fucking time. And since Elon started allegedly paying people
Paying
for
people.
engagements. Like, her tweets were bad enough anyway. And I'm saying I haven't followed Jemele Hill since my hairline was still intact. I haven't followed Jemele Hill like 10 years, dog. This is what I'm saying. This from me. Every tweet I see from Jemele Hill is worse than the last one. And like I knew once I saw the tweet. Rhymes with Kaepernick. I mean, rhymes with happening. Whatever the fuck she said.
Kaepernick. Yeah, rhymes with happening. So there's somebody in Jersey.
I didn't see the app, and I knew who did it. Didn't even see the app. I was like, oh, that's Jemele Hill, ain't it? Yeah, that's what she does. She constantly she constantly tweets like somebody who is looking to tweet for engagement, even if that's not what it is. Like, she is painfully cringe. Just stop.
Right.
Colin Kaepernick hasn't played football in 8 fucking years. Stop.
Yeah.
Get over it.
The ridiculous Jets takes about quarterbacks, whatever. It's entertaining to watch for me. It's entertaining. Some of it is stupid. Some of it makes a little bit of sense. But as we've said already, Zach is the quarterback, and that's probably your best option out of what's out there. Like, if you want to say, let's convince Chad Henne to come out of retirement because he played in Hackett's system. Like, cool. He did a little relief. He did a little relief of Pat Mahomes. Like, cool. Some people were saying Jameis Winston. All right, if you want to make it a clown show, if he gets a chance to start and play some games, why not?
At least that'll be somewhat entertaining.
Right. It'll be someone entertaining at least, the bare minimum. Somebody mentioned Teddy Bridgewater. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, enough with the Bridgewater stuff.
Bro. Teddy Bridgewater threw interceptions on 5% of his throws last year. That's twice Zach Wilson's number in his career. Yes, I know the sample is small. I get it. Brother, they got 2 dudes who run like Usain Bolt playing wide receiver, one of the best offensive minds in the sport, and he still handed the ball to the other team. What the fuck is he going to do here?
Yeah.
Bro, and that's the thing with this too. Like, this is the bad part about Aaron Rodgers bringing all of his homies.
Yes.
Because now, you know what the Jets are now, their offense, their whole setup as of now? It's like Tupac and the little homies without Tupac. That's what it is. Like, Tupac is gone. Like,
when he did hit him up?
Yes, bro. Yes. Their offense is now hit him up without Tupac's verses, bro.
Well, Tupac had to put 2 verses, and I heard he had another one too.
Dude.
You call these people the outlaws.
Given, yes, bro. Because it's like, okay, Randall Cobb is here for what now? To do,
bro?
To help with what offense, bro? The Jets' offense is going to be run, pound, ground and pound, and pray. That's what the fuck their offense is going to be now. Lazard, at least he can help because he can run block. He can help. Give him that. Cool. Nathaniel Hackett is here because Aaron Rodgers suggested him to be here. Well, okay, that's technically not true because Hackett was hired months before Rodgers was traded.
Right.
Sure. But they hired that man because he's fucking familiar with Rodgers. We could lie to ourselves all we want. That's why they hired him. Because what the fuck else does he have on his fucking resume? Nothing.
Right.
Like, nothing.
Right.
Like, Blake Bortles and them got to the AFC title game that one year. Yeah, if you want to believe that shit was because of Blake Bortles, be my fucking guest. You want to believe that because of the 22nd ranked offense? Sure, man. Knock yourself out. That's why he's here. But this is the shitty part of doing business with Aaron Rodgers and having all of his homies because, obviously he got hurt in an unfortunate fashion. But now we're still stuck with his homies. And they're paperweights. Largely, well, Lazard isn't. The rest of them are. Hackett is, Cobb is. They are just there.
Yeah, and Billy Turner. Don't forget Billy Turner. Bro, it is what it is, and I think that's probably why I looked at it like the way I looked at it, like with the what now, and I'm just saying there's nothing to do. You sign a veteran because you need somebody for that roster spot because Aaron's out for the season. You're not signing someone to take over the team. If the idea is to bring in somebody to take over the team, then that's the wrong idea to have. There's a reason why Zach Wilson was drafted number 2 overall by New York Jets, and he has to play. This is his second chance or third chance, however you want to count it, to prove he belongs. Not for the Jets. Zach Wilson to prove he belongs in the league. Forget the Jets. People are like, oh yeah, no, he doesn't have to prove he belongs to the Jets because he just doesn't do enough. He has to prove he can play in this league. And how you prove that you can play in this league is by being useful. It's by your usefulness. And if he can't be useful in a situation where there's 16 games left, and out of those 16, with one win under your belt, you can't win 8 of those games, then you're not useful. Because Bomani had also said something. He said, I remember I don't know if he was being like tongue in cheek when he was talking about the amount of good backups they used to play back in the day.
No,
and
I've heard him talk about this on the spot. He was being serious. Yeah, there.
And and it's true, there hasn't really been an investment in who's the second guy, behind you, right? And Wilson is not supposed to be the second guy. Wilson is supposed to be the guy. You know what I mean? So you're not the guy because they brought in Aaron Rodgers to be the guy, but now you're the de facto the guy because you have to play. But at this point, it's like, bro, I don't care if you lead us to the playoffs, me personally, you know what I mean? But for your career and your sake, you need to prove that you're useful. If you can be Ray Lucas in 99 and get us to believe we can win 8 to 9 games and go in, bro, you'll have a career. But if you go out there and you stick the shit up, or it's mostly about Breece Hall or mostly about Dalvin Cook and nothing to do with you, you can kiss the remaining years of your career goodbye or call them relatively short, because they're not going to sit there and say, well, it's this person, it's that person. That ship already sailed. It's MLF. Oh, no, bro. You got Rodgers as a mentor. You got Hackett as an offensive coordinator. It's going to be you. And for the mere fact that it already seems like they don't trust you with the offense, and they haven't written up, because even Buck was saying it, they have nothing designed for Wilson right now, like in this offense. This whole thing is surrounded by Rodgers. They have 4 days to get this shit right and go play Dallas. You know what I mean? They got 4 days to figure out an offense. And also, keep in mind, as great as Breece Hall looked, you don't want to. He had 10 carries last night for 127 yards, like 12.7 yards a fucking carry. Go figure. First game back after the Achilles injury. You don't want him having 15, 20, 25 carries. And the next game, you still want to ease him along and get him stronger. So no pressure, but the pressure is on you. Like, you have to play somewhat decent. And before I go forward with anything else, Ray Lucas had 14 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in relief of Vinny Testaverde. Not the greatest thing, but we believed up until that Lions game, we fucking believed that we were going to the playoffs with Ray Lucas.
Is Ray Lucas busy?
He's working. Isn't he working at SNY?
What kind of shape is he in? Like, can we get him? Nah. First of all, I'd like to say I genuinely respect how positive you're being about this. Gotta say that. Because again, I can't be the one who calls you a grump every day and not acknowledge your positive mindset about this, because it would be easy to just be like, fuck this shit. So like, I have to acknowledge it to be fucking fair, right? Also, to loop Jude back in here again. Like, you're talking about Zach and his career to stand the third. And it's like, Zach, is the entire reason that they were showing hold for a 40-year-old quarterback in the first place.
Absolutely.
The entire reason.
While we're here.
You spent the entire offseason telling us, I'll take anybody but Zach. Is that not a direct quote? Anybody but Zach. He might as well have put on a fucking t-shirt. Anybody but Zach. Anybody. Anybody, bro. Right? So we are now back to starting Zach Wilson. Excuse me, the Jets are, not we. The Jets are back to starting Zach Wilson. And Jude is looking around and upset that people are complaining. I can't get over the audacity, like, truly. And like, I don't hang on what Jude says like this, especially when he's not even here to defend himself. But man, that shit pissed me off. It's like, bro, if you don't want to complain, don't. And if you want to read the fucking pie in the sky shit, there's more than enough of that shit to go around. There's a lot of people who are just like, yo, I believe in Zach. That was a great win. And I am not here to tell nobody how to root. That's one thing. I've been talking my shit all day. That's how I cope. I've been talking my shit all day. I have yet to say, wow, you're delusional. Do you, boo-boo? Like, root how you want to root, boo-boo. Like, I'm not here to tell you to stop or to stop caring. Do you? Because realistically, it was a great win. Like, I don't feel about it the way other people do for a lot of obvious fucking reasons, but it was a great fucking win. So I'm not here to tell nobody shit. But looking around and being like, I'm just so tired of the complaints is outrageous to me. Because it's like, listen, if the Jets would have lost that game, let's say Allen would have led them down and at the end, and they would have won the game. It still would have been a great effort. Yeah, they would have lost. It still would have been a great effort. But then Jude would tell you complaining would have been okay at that point, even though they're really in the same spot. Like, okay, they're one game better. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Like, they're one game better. The Jets Super Bowl odds, as of last night when they finished 1-0, are 0%. The Jets Super Bowl odds, if they would have been 0-1, 0%. Like, nothing.
They jumped to 35-1 in Vegas from.
Yeah, I bet.
It was 8-1 and jumped to 35-1.
There should be more. It should be higher than that. But that's neither here nor there. But like, Jude of all people be like, I can't understand why people are complaining. It's so, and I know I keep belaboring that point, but as I said, I pre-warned y'all. Ain't gonna be no structure. It's gonna be a lot of negativity today. I pre-warned y'all. Y'all can't say it. I didn't say that at the beginning. I can't believe that motherfucker had the audacity to say that shit. Like, we've been reading and hearing, like, brother, at the beginning of last season, Jude would not let us stop hearing. All I want is meaningful December football. And what I keep saying to Jude, like, that could come in a lot of different ways, and you don't know if you're going to be happy with that shit until it happens. And then they start off 7-4. They don't win another game. They score like one touchdown the last month.
Yeah, it was ugly.
And just guess who was complaining every single step of the way.
That was ugly football.
Yeah, Jude Armand Jackson was complaining. Since you don't want to answer the goddamn question, Jude Armand Jackson was complaining every single step of the fucking way, but yet doesn't want to understand how people are complaining now. Either way, I'm done talking about that. I'm sorry to derail this again. Keep going.
Listen, shout out to everybody who's tapped in. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at MIPod69, and make sure you go to our sponsor. Dads Are Cool Too. Make sure you go shop dadsarecool2.com. Use the promo code MIPod69 for 10% off. Shout out to dadsarecool2.com. So make sure you shop dadsarecool2.com. Use the promo code MIPod69 and get 10% off. I'm gonna stare right into it, man. I had to stare right into it.
Hey, man, I'm just glad we got a reasonably priced model.
Yo, listen. Might as well milk for what it's worth. Positive vibes, man. Listen, I'm going since Kev is obviously not in the positive mood.
Boy, that's an understatement.
There is a reason for us to celebrate a little bit of something. 3-year anniversary. 3-year anniversary. Jude couldn't make it. Shout out to Jude. Shout out to Dan. You guys represented us very well in the at the game. Actually, at the Jets game. I'm glad that they won a home opener. I wish I was. I only wish I was there because I've never seen the Jets win while I was in person. Never. Maybe one time. I think maybe the Washington game years ago when Favre was quarterback. I'm not too sure.
I've been to
yeah, you haven't seen him win in person. Yeah.
I went to the Browns one where Trevor Siemian got fucking smashed. That one. And then I went to the Revis 100-yard interception return game. Against
the Dolphins? Yeah, against the Dolphins, yeah.
Sitting in with God, and it was there. God, Revis return that shit for the touchdown. Go ahead, man.
Right, but shout out. I've had this I got this for my birthday, I think, a couple of years ago, and was looking for a reason to open this. No reason to open it at all. But we're celebrating 3 years. What does 3 years of doing Middle Initial Podcast would you guys mean to me personally? It's the one day of the week I look forward to. Like, no bullshit. It's the one day of the week I look forward to. I hate when I miss an episode. So normally if I do miss one, like because I'm usually around, I might even sneak in, just be there just to listen to hear you guys talk or something like that. Or I may be behind the scenes and just like, just producing in the background. Um, it's been a ride. It's been a journey. It's been fun. We met so many different people, had so many different experiences. This was supposed to be the year, and it's still possible that we have, with all the positivity and the new influx of fans, that things look, the outlook looks better. Unfortunately for us, the major key to that went down 4 plays in. But I'm going to kick off the positivity. Salud. Thank you, Kev, for all that you do. Thank you, Jude, for all that you do. Thank you, Dan, for working hard behind the scenes, all you do. Thank you to our Discord people. Shout out to y'all. Love y'all. Patrons, shout out to y'all for supporting us, and everybody on Twitter and everything like that. So don't demonetize us. We're not making money anyway because I'm drinking on camera.
Oh man, there go our sponsors. What are we gonna do? There go our sponsors.
Any words about us hitting this wonderful milestone?
I look forward to every Monday as well, and I fully admit that that's always been the case. But ever since we implemented 1, StreamYard, and 2, Jude's Grooves, it's been legitimately my favorite part of pretty much every week. And I love doing this with y'all because I like y'all. Obviously, I would not be here if I did not. I like y'all. We've grown a lot in 3 years. Like, we've done a lot. I think what encapsulates it perfectly is the picture of like the first tailgate compared to the last one.
Yeah,
we've grown so much in 3 years, and I love the support that we get from our group. I love it. Like, they always show up. They buy the merch. We throw an event. They show up. Whatever help we might need, like, hey, if we might need a new computer. Like, all right, here's a suggestion. Like, we could ask them anything. They're always there, and they always show support in 100 different ways. And I love them for it. Yeah, I mean, you covered the rest of it pretty much. Once again, thank you for what you do. Like, you are the most bullheaded person I know, and I say that affectionately because I am also bullheaded. So I'm not saying this from a position of judgment. To me, bullheadedness is one of those things that could be good and bad, and I'm fully well aware of that from my end. Like, you could be I'll take more of the good bullheaded than the bad. That's just how I view it. Like, I'm always going to be hard-headed. That's just how it goes. I'm always going to be stubborn because it's gotten me more good places than bad in my life, personally. So
shout out.
Yeah. So, like, thank you for what you do, Jude. Thank you for what you do. I know some of them songs I'd be sending you to read. I know they make you cringe a little bit. You read them anyway. Appreciate you for it. Would be remiss if I didn't mention Dan and all the work he does behind the scenes. He's a little bit too horny for my liking. He'd be saying some wild shit. I don't know about all of that, but thank you for what you do, though.
Yo, keep the level of positivity. But the season overall, I'm going to, like, I took this stance after we won this game. Like, fuck this. We have a phenomenal defense who, for all intents and purposes, Sauce admitted after the game he was not himself. Maybe you've seen Aaron Rodgers get hurt, messed him up. Garrett Wilson, there's a story about Garrett Wilson, approaching Aaron. Aaron's like, "I'm sorry, kid," and that, like, tear broke your heart, stuff like that.
If I was the type to cry over sports shit, that would have broke me, brother.
That would have
broke me. Dude. Oh my goodness.
But I'll say this is my positives for this season. People say the 99 season. I think offensively, what 99 had prime Curtis Martin that they wasted. Not wasted, but it was prime. I think it was like 25, 26. He ended up rushing for like 1,500 yards, something like that, 1,400 yards. Still had Keyshawn Johnson, who had a 1,000-yard season. You know what I mean? Defensively, Mo Lewis, some guys there, but I think Aaron Glenn was still on the team. I'm not too sure. My comparison, though, is simply this. I think we have a better defense by far. And I think offensively, having Cook and Hall, if Zach could play just like Ray Lucas, because what Ray Lucas would do was just playing within the offense. Like, and he didn't make a lot of mistakes until like the last game of the season, clearly, against the Lions, but he played within the offense. He won some games. You could be Mark Sanchez in 2010. You don't got to be nothing else. You're going to be a hero, whatever. I feel like if he gets past this first gauntlet, we can win enough games to go to the playoffs. That's my positive thing. And the reason why I'm positive, and I'll say it, Kev, they restored the feeling last night. Like, I get loud. Like, people like, we talk and grump and this and the third. But what people don't realize, when I'm at home and I'm watching the Jets play, I'm invested. Like, when I'm invested in the season, I'm invested. And when I say I woke up my kids and I didn't give a fuck, I was going to suffer through the consequences. If I had to stay up with them until 3 o'clock in the morning, I didn't care. It was the way we won that game. And the person who won that game. Shout out to Xavier Gibson, because I was singing his praises from training camp in the Discord. I said he's going to make the team special teams. He got it, and he did it. Shout out to Gibson, an amazing story. That's why I'm so invested. I'm going to remain positive. But I tell you right now, the first Zach Wilson 3-interception stinker, Kev, make room on the couch. I'm right next to you.
Brother, listen. Like, I'm invested and hopeful. Well, hopeful's not the right word for it. I hope this works out better for these kids than I think it's going to work out. Because, like, bro, they deserve better than this, bro.
They deserve so much.
Like, Quentin Williams deserves better than this. Breece Hall deserves better than this. Sauce Gardner deserves on down the list. So, like, I am emotionally invested in those kids' success. So, like, I hope that Zach is just way better than I think he is. Because really, or the Jets are just so good at everything else, they overcome him, which good luck with that. Like, we saw how that one plays out. It's not sustainable football. Like, they're going to need him just – if he's just slightly below average instead of complete untenable dog shit, like, the Jets would probably win 10 games. Like, just regular bad quarterback. Bro, if you drop 2010 Mark Sanchez on the current Jets, they win 12 games walking. Easily. And Mark Sanchez was the furthest thing from good in 2010. Largely, they had to make fucking 8 comeback wins because he existed. Right. Basically, because he would bullshit the first 3 quarters and pull some shit out of his ass in the fourth. That's how every goddamn game went that year, basically. And it was fun because you were always confident they were going to do it. But then it also came back to bite them because they no-showed an entire first half in the AFC title game. But that's neither here nor fucking there.
Right. Well, the defense no-show, not Mark. Yeah. Mark showed up.
To be fair, the offense kind of no-show, but the Steelers' defense was legit. So it's not like I can't really fault them for it. Like the Jets' defense missed like 15 tackles. Like, it was absurd. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were doing. Anyways, we're not enough of that. Yeah, like, listen, the defense is real. Like, the coaching staff, like, Saleh will get effort out of these dudes. He will keep them engaged and blah, blah, blah. That's important. Nathaniel Hackett, good luck with that. I got nothing else, bro. Like, I've watched I know we make the fair weather jokes and all of that, and rightfully so. I personally think more people should be like me because it's a more peaceful existence. personally, but not it ain't for everybody. I get that.
Wait, the fans don't know that I call you Floyd Fairweather.
Floyd Fairweather is exactly funny, by the way. So, like, I don't want to give you that credit in public in the Discord because you're gonna run with it for like 2 weeks, and I don't feel like doing that. So I'll give it to you in a form where you like. I mean, shit, you might clip this and put it on the fucking Twitter account. So there's that. But whatever. Either way, Floyd Fairweather is objectively fucking funny. You can't deny it.
They don't know. They don't know because like, I know Kev is. Me and Kev go back and forth about things like making jokes. Say he's a politician and stuff like that. Whatever. Perfect game. It's a perfect game.
It's a bit, bro. It's a bit.
Yeah, no, listen. I say all the time, yo, Kev is a genius. Like, when I argue with Kev, my arguments are like, he got me again. Fuck, I can't make it. So I just make.
But you don't give me the satisfaction. I appreciate that.
Yo, bro. Son.
Like,
you can't,
I know, I got you, doggy. I know.
I be in the Discord cursing you out, but I'm on my phone laughing because I'm pulling threads like, I'm gonna go so far and just see exactly what I can pull out my ass. And Kevin's gonna rip this apart, but fuck it, I'm gonna keep going. So when I said Floyd Fairweather, I was like, yes, I got one.
You got me. That was good. I had no return for that. That shit is funny.
I was like, I got one.
That shit is
and bro, and that's the thing. Like, when I tell people, like, the reason why I respect you so much is because you really don't say shit out your ass, right? Like, you don't be like, yo, man. The amount of people I've seen say shit completely out of the fucking depths of their anus and they're serious about it. And I'm just like, I can deal with that. But you will not go out on a fucking limb no matter what. And you, as a smart person, a person who has intelligence, that's how you're supposed to operate. That's just go on a limb and be like, well, I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to come back next year healthy. I'm like, 40 fucking years old. That's like, I'm just like shout out to Mike. We're having this argument. Like, Mike, I'm not trying to kill your positive energy, but I'm just saying he's 40 years old. Like, if he comes back next year at 41 off an Achilles, and he plays, one of the two things happen. We made it to the playoffs and it just wasn't enough, or we just decided to say, fuck it, we're going to throw caution to the wind. Like you said, draft offensive linemen or whatever case may be and invest in this man's return. And to me, those are both terrible ideas. When there's a plethora of quarterback talent out there next year, and in the doomsday scenario, what this is now turning to be, the fact of the matter that we continued, we maintain our first round pick because Rodgers is not going to play. So shout out to the Packers for giving us Rodgers for nothing, pretty much. And there's a plethora of talent at quarterback coming out next season. If we don't follow through with at least a playoff berth and we win 5 wins or 6 wins, whatever the case may be, we might be in a position to get one of those guys. You know what I mean? Get rid of Zach. Still, if you want to bring back Rodgers, whatever the case may be, but have a new start. It may not be a new start for Saleh and Joe Douglas, though. Like, I don't think what people are missing out in this situation. The Jets are going to try. Saleh and Joe Douglas are trying to save their job. I don't care if people say it's an asterisk or Aaron Rodgers got hurt, whatever. This is going on year 4. They're trying to save their jobs. And in trying to save your jobs, like Kev will tell you, we might win some meaningless fucking games. We don't have to win.
Buddy, this whole section you're just teeing me up. I'm not even gonna get started on the whole winning meaningless game shit because, buddy, that's been a long running theme with the Jets. But the thing about Rodgers with the Mike, I understand. Mike is like the super down version of me at this point because like Rodgers, like he likes Rodgers more than me. Fine, but like it's the same thing. Like Rodgers, my favorite quarterback of all time. Same for him. I get it, and I'm not even here to go back and forth with Mike. He's going through the stages of
grief, like open grief.
Right. Yeah, the stages of grief. I'm not here to go back and forth with him about it. Cool. Now, his conclusion, I agree with for very different reasons. Because I think Rodgers, I don't think Rodgers' last snap was yesterday. I think it's possible. Yes. Mm-hmm. I also think I just gave you a lot of credit for being a bullheaded individual. Ain't nobody more bullheaded than that guy. Ain't nobody more bullheaded than that guy. And his last moment being carted off of MetLife, I cannot see it ending that way. Now,
right.
The flip side of it is, obviously, like with a lot of these dudes, it ends poorly. That's how it goes. Number one. And number two, the more important part is, what the fuck is he going to do if he does come back? Like, that's the thing. And you can't put all your eggs in that basket. Now, like, the cap number says what it says. I understand that. But, like, coming into this season, and listen, there's a possibility Zach makes me look very stupid. I wouldn't bet no money on it if I were you. But there's a possibility that Zach makes me look very stupid. But coming into the season with no actual viable backup plan for a 39-year-old quarterback was a little bit insane anyway, if we're going to keep it a bean.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing with Joe Douglas. If you want to call Joe Douglas a good GM, I'm not going to argue with you. You want to say he's average, I'm not going to argue with you. I push back on bad. I think the people who say he's bad, I think they're tripping. Like, I think he's at very least a functional GM. But there's this thing on Jets Twitter where if you disagree with anything Joe Douglas does, you're just the biggest hater on earth. Like, it's not that serious. No GM is perfect. None. Not a single fucking one of them is fucking perfect. Bill Belichick is the best head coach to ever set foot on a field. That man couldn't spot wide receiver talent if it hit him in the face. Go look at his record. Like, if it ain't a fucking white a white quarterback from a fucking MAC-10 school or whatever the fuck the division is called, who used to play quarterback, like, besides those, like, Bill will whiff on wide receiver until he's dead. That's just how it goes with Bill. But, like, he's great at what he does otherwise. But Joe Douglas, like, having no legitimate backup, I'm not even upset that they kept Zach. Do what you got to do. If you want to die with the sunk cost, fine. Because realistically, them releasing Zach or trading Zach for a 7th rounder would have accomplished nothing. I get why he's still here. I'm not mad that he's still here. I'm mad he's playing. Yeah, I'm not mad he's still here. I understand why he's here. Fine, I get it. You didn't want to just cut him. Because, yes, he's talented. He's physically talented. I don't think he has it. But he's physically fucking talented. And if you let him go and he goes out for somebody else, let's say the Niners are like, all right, we're going to pick him up. God forbid Brock Purdy gets hurt. This kid goes and balls out. Everybody's getting fired. So, like, I get why you can't do that. Like, it's not as simple as he stinks, get rid of him. It's not that simple. It's not.
Right.
But having him be the quote-unquote backup, to me, was insane. Because you didn't have to spend that much money to get somebody better than him. Because the bar is so low. The bar is so low to be better than Zach. And then if Zach comes in, and you could even give Zach the first crack at it if you want. Nobody would care. And
they're going to. Sal already said it. So he said it's his team. They're going to
bring in some middle of the pack vet. And if you want to give Zach the first go, give him a game or two, see how it goes, because Rodgers has saved his life or whatever the fuck else. Fine, you can. And then if he stinks, that you can give it to the veteran and go from here. You didn't even have to give the veteran the job off a rip. But regardless, that's what it is with Joe Douglas, and that's what it is with the quarterback situation. You teed me up on something else I don't remember at the moment, so I'm just going to give you back the mic, man. Enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm on to week 2. I had a bet with my cousin going to week 2 that the Jets were going to win. I told him Rodgers is out. We got to avoid this bet, but I'm hit him up like, yo, let's bring this bet back, man. I don't care. I'm gonna ride with my guys. Maintaining a positive vibe. I'm gonna ride with my guys. The bet's back on. Dale, I'll hit you up soon. By the time you see this podcast, you already get the message. We're gonna keep that bet. If the Cowboys win, I gotta wear a Dak jersey or whatever, Pollard jersey, whatever on camera, and I don't know, admit that the Cowboys are better, whatever. But I'm riding with my guys, and if the Jets win, you and my cousin Jason have to buy merch off of MI Pod and wear it and take pictures. So I'm riding with my guys. I'm going to believe in this defense. I'm being positive in what we can do. I don't know where it's going to lead me. I don't know where this is leading me. I hope it leads us to the playoffs or a miracle. I mean, those are far and few between. But, the way our future is set up, it looks pretty bleak. But I'm going to remain positive until it falls off and I can't be positive anymore. Moving on, though, let's just, recap the whole week. Interesting tidbit as far as offense was concerned in week 1 of 2023. This was the worst offensive output in a week 1 in a long time.
It felt like it. It felt like it watching the games, dude. It felt like, watching Red Zone, rather.
Listen, shout out to my people on FanDuel, DraftKings, what MGM, whatever, C's, whatever you use. But if you play that anytime touchdown parlay, I know you're pissed because dudes was not scoring touchdowns. Like the most positive outcomes offensively were San Francisco On it, San Francisco, not even Dallas winning 40-0. I mean, unless you have Pollard down for 2 touchdowns. The Titans, what was it? Titans and Saints, whatever that game was not Titans Saints. That was Titans.
No, it was Saints. No, you had it right.
The Titans Saints, terrible.
Yeah.
Mid off. I mean, opening night, Mahomes and Goff, Detroit, Kansas City. There wasn't much offense to go around there either. It was a bad week for offense. I think the total touchdowns were 62 or 61, which is the lowest output in like 10 years for week one. The offense is supposed to be back. I watched Kirk Cousins figure out that Justin Jefferson was his wide receiver in the fourth quarter. Like, finally, hey, oh, he's our quarterback. He's our wide receiver. Let me throw him the fucking ball. Like, it was bad offense all around. I guess I would say if I could pick a game, it was a surprise. Bengals Browns was such a surprise because the Bengals looked like the Bengals of old. They couldn't do shit on offense, and I know the Browns defense was being improved, but God, like, yo, the Bengals looked terrible. Like, they looked lost. Burrow looked lost. He was getting hit. Myles Garrett was doing killer crossover shadow moves before rushing the quarterback.
Bro, that play did not get enough shine. I didn't even know that happened until this morning. And I'm like, how is that possible? That this is not just replayed over and over and over and over again? Because that shit was just cool. Like the difficulty of it for a minute. But like, bro, he was doing air crossovers and then swiftly blew past the center. It was insane.
1.7 seconds he was in the backfield and Burrow had like
madness. Complete freak athlete.
One thing I wanted to point out, though, a lot of people were saying that the lack of preseason action was the reason that this is a contributing factor. What are your thoughts on that? We've had this conversation about preseason, and I've come to the conclusion finally that preseason does matter. It does matter. I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter. It does matter. Guys are trying to make a 53-man roster. It does matter, but does it matter in that capacity of getting ready for the regular season? Because a lot of teams looked terrible.
I think it would be irresponsible. Well, irresponsible is not the word. It's not that serious. I think it would be kind of naive to say it doesn't matter at all. Like, how much it matters, we will never really know. Like, we'll never know. Now, I guess the counterpoint, it's not really a counterpoint. It's kind of just more info. Offense league wide last year was down. Like, it was the worst passing year in a long time. Now,
that's true. But injuries, though, there were a lot of injuries, though.
True, very true. But like, it was the worst year passing wise in a long time. Now, how much of that is the injuries? How much of that is the league has played more zone recently than they ever have? They're playing a lot of 2-man. They're daring people to run the ball. Like, I think we're going to eventually see a shift where teams start to upsize. Now, like we've seen, everybody's running out, 11 formation, 3 wide receivers. Everybody's doing that. There's eventually going to come a time where people start to draft these big tight ends who can move a little bit but can block, and line them up and say, all right, fine. You want to have your little 220-pound weak side linebacker? Okay, well, I'm gonna hit you in the mouth over and over. Let's see how you respond to that. There's going to be a time where that happens. I don't know if that's going to be now. I don't know if it's going to be next year. I don't know if it's going to be 5 years from now. But the game always shifts to some degree. And if the passing is going to go the way it's going, you're still going to need the elite guys if you're going to try and win at the highest level. But if you can't, then there's going to be more teams who are trying to be like the Titans and, oh, God, help me. I don't want to watch that shit. I just realized I said out loud, I don't want to watch that shit. But there's going to be more teams trying to be somewhat like that and punch people in the mouth. So, like, do I think preseason is a part of it? Absolutely. Because if you're not taking live reps and then you go immediately into taking live reps in a meaningful football game, this is the type of stuff that happens. Because defenses are naturally ahead of offenses anyway. Like, when practices typically start, they're typically ahead of offenses fucking anyway. Because it's more rhythm-based on offense than anything else. And if you don't have your rhythm, what do you have? Like, the Bengals look like a group of players who never play together.
Bruh.
They look
terrible.
awful. They look
terrible,
awful. And not in a way where it's like, wow, are they gonna stink this season? It's in a way where it's like, damn, they look like they haven't played together in a while, which they hadn't. Because Burrow was on the shelf.
Right.
They haven't played together in a while. So it takes a minute.
Yeah. The NFL has been weird this season, especially with the contracts. Like Chris Jones had this, this re-up 1 year.
The most pointless holdout ever, by the way. Well, not ever, because Melvin Gordon's was the most pointless holdout ever. But that one was up there. At least Chris Jones got like what, $26 million.
Yeah, something ridiculous. Yeah, for one year.
Like what was the point? You did all that because you didn't want to go to training camp? Is that what it was? Like,
same thing with Saquon 1 year, and where those guys get a bunch of 1 year holdouts.
With Saquon, it's like, I know running backs, but like Bakers can't be choosers.
Right.
Sorry to say it like that, but it's the truth. Like, he got a $2 million raise. That's not nothing. Like, you kind of got to take what you could fucking get at that position. Like, especially when he had no leverage. So it's like you take the $2 million raise. $2 million is not nothing. Go put that shit in your bank account and do whatever the fuck you're gonna do with $2 million and be done with it. Like, it kind of is what it is on that front. But Chris Jones did all that. And it's like, you got a 1 year deal out of that. So what was the point?
Yeah, I think the tight ends are going to be next up to get paid. I agree with you as far as like even just the talent, because all the tight ends being hurt collectively in week 1, and maybe like I think like Kittle played for San Fran, who's supposed to be out. I know Kelsey was out. I don't know if Mark Andrews played. I didn't pay attention that much. He didn't play. Yeah, I think tight ends, if there is going to be a shift, tight ends are going to be more important and more integral to the offense. So they're probably the next up to get paid. I was just surprised. Like this was like the worst week for offense. As far as preseason is concerned, like I said, I get it. There should be a level of you guys are gelling and making things work and kind of figuring things out. I don't know how deep it comes into play, but if this is the first year that preseason was kind of cut short in comparison to the years before, and this is the performance that came out, if this trend continues, they may consider like, hey, maybe we need to figure out a way to get you guys in these games. Maybe not the first preseason game, maybe the second one. You know what I mean? Like the third one or whatever.
I think they'll definitely adjust if it comes.
Yeah, they're gonna have to, because outside of there's certain things that happened this season that I kind of was leading on to hinting that it's going to happen. For example, the Mahomes and the Chiefs thing. I said, like, hey, can they maintain this? And Kelsey went down. It's like, oh, maybe they can't. Kelsey's very important. But now if a team can feel like they can cue in and make these better matchups against Kelsey, will it be harder for the Chiefs going on in the future? I know Mahomes got magic, but Kadarius Toney dropping 3 passes and his rest of the teammates saying, hey, I can help you out. I think it was like 6 total passes dropped that game. That was terrible. The Giants spending all that money on Daniel Jones and getting shut out. Like,
you know what? Thank you for bringing that up. Because, listen, number one, I get it, bro. The Cowboys and Giants have big fan bases. Do we really need to see the Cowboys take the belt to the Giants on national TV every year? Like, because this happens every year. Like, can the talent gap close between the teams first before we put them on national TV? Bro, they were on national TV week 1. They're going to be in the 425 slot, the game of the week slot, week 8 or whatever the fuck else it is. It's like, bro, how many times we got to see the same goddamn replay, bro? We've seen the movie before, bro. We need to see it over and over and over again. It's not even like a sequel with a little remix, a twist. Nothing. It's the same goddamn belt to ass every game. And it's like, why do we need to see the Cowboys put the Giants on blacked every single year on national TV? Why? I just don't. Why?
NFL loves division rivalries, and for some reason they feel like the Giants,
especially the goddamn NFC East,
right?
It ain't really anybody else.
Especially
they
like
force feed that shit to us all the time.
Bro,
look at Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Like they give us that every now and again. Like, a pretty year that they give it to us, but it ain't twice.
Right.
Number one, they'll give you one 8:30 game in like week 5, and then week 14 they're playing at 1:00. Nobody cares. Like, cool. We give it to you once. Like, we gotta have them week 1 to open the fucking season. We gotta have them in the game of the week spot. Like, enough.
Sunday night football.
NFC East is not that special, bro. It's not.
bro. It's there's certain rivals like Bears, Packers. They put that
Oh,
game on
they
early.
forced that on. They forced that.
Yo,
They forced that on us too. Now,
yo,
granted, for once, I mean, shit, that was the game of the week this past week.
yeah,
Like, bro, the Packers been whooping the Bears' ass for 30 years.
and it's still whooping their ass. It's like we need to we
And the thing
need
is,
to
the Bears have
mix it
never
up.
been fun enough to justify this. They've
No,
never been fun. Like, it's a historic rivalry. Cool. And please name and granted, like, I get it. The demographic is not necessarily us, but please name one person you're like, you know what, man, I can't wait to watch the Bears game. Like, we watch it anyway because we're sick. I get that. We're sick people. Like, we have a sickness.
I got some followers in Chicago who are diehard Bears fans, and I feel sorry for them because they really thought that the Bears are doing right by Justin Fields, and every time something happens, they're like, "Yo,
listen, we're gonna have a real serious conversation about Justin Fields."
We definitely are, but
I think that kid stinks. But go ahead.
they're like, yo, they're not doing right by him, and I'm just like, man, I don't think it's just that alone, but there's no like outside like a real rivalry game. Like I used to look forward to seeing. Back in the day, it was either San Fran versus Dallas. San Fran versus Green Bay was always good. San Fran versus Green Bay
was always lit. Yes,
always good.
Always lit.
Giants,
San Fran, Seattle for like that 5 or 6 year span was always very good too. Yes.
Giants, Eagles was good until Deshaun Jackson pretty much brought it back on that punt return. It was good until then. Like
I don't think it was very good before that either, man. Like the Eagles used to whoop Eli's ass like over and over. I don't know what the record is. It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
There were games I used to look forward to. Of course, Jets. I mean, in my day, Jets Bills was always something because they had a back and forth type of thing. Jets Dolphins, of course, just like that's when they were like. I remember when the AFC had the Colts in it, and I think at one point in time, like I don't think I was old enough for when the Oils were in there. I remember when the AFC had the Colts in it, and those games were always like fierce competition as far as rivalry concerned because that's when it was like you had maybe 3 of the 4 best quarterbacks were in the AFC East at the time. Like you had Marino, you had Kelly, and then you had like Ken O'Brien and stuff like that. And then you had Harbaugh who came on later on, like with the comeback miracle stuff like that. Like there was some intense rivalries, but it's not looking like that right now. And it's only week 1. I have no season predictions. I'll say this much. If I was to pick a team right now who I feel is their 1-0 is legit, it's the San Francisco 49ers. Like, if I pick one team, like Brock Purdy, say what you want to say about him. That man came in from the UCL. He played very good.
He looked sharp.
He looked really good. And you beat a Steelers team that normally don't take losses like that.
Mm-hmm.
And TJ Watt was playing. TJ Watt was playing fired up. Like he was definitely trying to make shit happen. Bro, that Pittsburgh offense is doo. Like Kenny Pickett is.
Listen, I think Kenny Pickett has some things to like. Now, I don't know if he's any good because he's yet to show up. But more importantly, and like I know we give Mike Tomlin the Mike Tomlin he always finishes over 500 thing is like, yeah, that's cool and all, but it's like, bro, they finished 9-8 with Duck Hodges. Am I really supposed to care that much about that? Like, they finished over 500 last year. They didn't make the playoffs. I don't care that much about that. I'm not trying to say he did a bad job. I'm just trying to say it doesn't mean that much. Now, but to get to the point, his undying loyalty to bad coaching hires is something that really needs to be looked at. Like when you're talking about Mike Tomlin's legacy and how good he is as a coach, how he picks assistants and how he stays with assistants has to be part of the combo. Because Matt Canada is he's stealing money. He's terrible.
He's a war criminal.
He's terrible, and he brought him back when he didn't have to. Again,
I don't get. Like Tomlin kind of has that Belichick thing where he just puts anybody next to him, and he's probably like a proctor. Like he looks over his shoulder. So, you know, I feel like he has that Proctor mentality. The Steelers will figure it out.
Same too.
Yeah. The Steelers will figure it out. I mean, of course, people feel like the wheels fall off. I know Stefan is not a big Mike Tomlin fan, or he's just he's kind of splitting hairs with who's a good coach, who's the best coach.
Stefan just does this thing where he might have a reasonable starting point, and then he just drives off a cliff. Just like, all right, bro. All right. Like the route that you were about to take, like when you were starting driving the car was okay. And then he just drove immediately off the cliff. Like
recalibrated.
He said, Black Jeff Fisher. Like, all right.
Black Jeff, when he said Mike Tomlin's the Black Jeff Fisher, I was like, bro, do you remember what Jeff Fisher did to quarterbacks? You know what he did to Vince Young? Like
brother, they called Jeff Fisher Mr. 7 and 9, dog. They called July 9th Jeff Fisher Day. Oh, no, 8 and 8. Sorry, 8 and 8 is his name. They call August 8th Jeff Fisher Day. Don't you dare compare Mike Tomlin to that man. There are legitimate grievances to have with Mike Tomlin as a coach. Because quite frankly, we don't know if Mike Tomlin could develop a quarterback. He's never done it.
He don't know if he could develop a
quarterback. And bringing back your admittedly bad offensive coordinator to run the offense for this kid you just drafted because we need stability is the same shit that they fed us when they brought Gates back for Donald's second year. Like, we need stability. Brother, bringing back incompetence is not stability. Staying with incompetence is not stability. Staying in a bad relationship is not fucking stability, bro. It's not. You're staying with that crazy woman that you can't let go for whatever the fuck reason it is, and she's driving you nuts, and you're staying there because familiarity? That's not fucking stability. That's insanity. Insanity. What are you doing?
Yo, bro, it's amazing. But he figures out a way. I don't know how he figures out this year
he gets the
at all.
Out of his team. That can't be questioned.
Yeah,
but I think put it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Genuinely speaking, and I am not down on this other head coach I'm about to compare him to.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the difference between Mike Tomlin and Mike Vrabel?
Ooh.
Genuinely asking, what's the difference? What's the difference?
I mean, I would say
good, mind you, but Mike Tomlin gets celebrated a lot more. And granted, he's been coaching a lot fucking longer.
Right.
But Mike Vrabel does similar fucking stuff, obviously for less time. With the Titans, what's the difference?
I think the difference with Vrabel is Vrabel feels like it's 1998. That's the difference.
And Mike Tomlin doesn't?
Listen, I think Tomlin does try to put a modern spin on it. I think Vrabel is we're going to run the ball as much as we can, even with the quarterback, because he definitely had Tannehill on some bootlegs and design runs.
I think Mike Tomlin gets out of the way. I'll give him that much. I think he lets his offensive coordinator, for better or worse, have creative So I'll give him that. I do think if you ask Mike Tomlin to a man, what his idealistic version of football is, it wouldn't be that different than Vrabel.
I agree. I don't think
they're defensive guys.
I don't think it would be that much different. But watching Tennessee and the Saints, and I'm just there's no vertical game, there's no verticality at all. The thing with the Steelers and the Niners, it just felt like they just couldn't do anything because San Francisco was just that good.
The talent difference is vast,
right?
And San will do that to a lot of teams. That's what
it is. But I feel like if you say Steelers are playing Denver or something like that, whatever, I think they figure something out as far as how they concerned, because they weren't even conservative. They were going forward on fourth down a lot. I know they were down by a lot, and they kept the Steelers were doing some shit that kind of pissed me off. Not only because I had a field goal parlay thing going, but also because they were leaving points. Yo, bro, they were leaving points on the board, and I just heard your voice in the back of my mind, you're down by that much, go for it. But I'm just you guys can't get nothing. Try to get these 3 to 9 points. You just get these.
Them threes wasn't helping them, dog. them threes wasn't
helping bro.
Them down 1 million points, bro. Them threes was not gonna help them. I didn't watch it. I turned that shit off after I think the McCaffrey touchdown. I was like, okay, this shit is a wrap. I'm not watching. Bro,
I watched it, and when they went for it on fourth down and get the their first touchdown, I was just like, yo, they're not going to kick the field goal at all this game, are they? Because Tomlin's going for a fourth down for
This is
every
the first half. They were
yeah.
going for fourth.
They would,
They could have sent the kicker home, really.
Bruh, they would like the funny thing also about speaking of field goals. So Colts were playing the Jaguars. They were down by 10. And of course, you need a field goal. You need 10 points. You need a field goal and touchdown, or if you can score fast enough. What I saw was just befuddling how the Colts kept trying to score a touchdown instead of saying, there's a minute 30 left. Let's go for this quick field goal and go for the onside kick. I didn't, for the life of me, I was just wondering like why the Colts refused to try to.
You said they was down 10, right?
They were down 10. No, they had no timeouts left.
Right.
And they were driving, but they weren't like it was methodical, and it felt like on third or fourth, whatever, and not letting the clock run, kick the 3 and then go for the onside kick. You need it anyway.
Right. The logic behind that, whether any of us agree with it, I think it depends on the context personally. But the logic is touchdown is the most difficult thing to accomplish there. And if you already don't have any timeouts, and I think I know the drive you were talking about, and they were deep in Jaguars territory, right? So like you might as well go ahead and try and score the touchdown, and then if you get the onside kick, it's way easier at that point to get the field goal. Now I think the surrounding context matters. I don't know what they were doing with the clock that drive, so I can't speak to specific. But generally, when teams do that, like they're down by 10, and they're just like the field goal. We're not going to take that shit until we absolutely have to. That's why, because the touchdown is just more difficult to get. So
and they did it. They ended with 0 points in the game. They still ended up losing by 10. I was just watching like, yo, bro, he still ended up losing by 10. You guys ain't trusting me.
I heard at the end. Was that drive?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
He heard okay, but yeah, I didn't see much of it.
No, nothing really stood out other than that. Like I'm trying to think of everything I watched on Red Zone and everything I watched on like the 4:00 games. Nothing stood out for me as like this is going to be the precedent for the rest of the season. Like I said, I feel like San Francisco, the Green Bay Packers surprised me because I didn't know how good Jordan Love, would play. I still don't think he played that great. I think the Bears are just ass.
The Bears are going to need a new quarterback soon. That's
one surprise. One surprise, and I remember I asked you. I said, "Do you think Algier is going to get eaten into the carries or whatever the case may be?" He got the carries, bro. I asked because I was like, "Yo, I'm going to pick him up because I feel like he might be a good run RB3, RB4," and you were like, "Nah, Bajan's going to get the carries and stuff like that," and I was like, I looked.
My reaction is not about what you're saying. It's just very like fuck the Falcons, and I'm trying to figure out how to put that into something digestible for the people. Listen, Tyler Algier was never going to be useless this year. Fine.
Right.
I'm not arguing that at all. He's a fine bench play if you want to go there. To me, Tyler Algier is listen. If Bijan, God forbid, I hope it doesn't happen. If he gets hurt for any period of time, Tyler Algier is going to get as many carries as he wants. Because I don't even know who the fuck. Oh, yeah, they have CPAT still. But for the most part, Algier would be their guy in that instance. Now, with the Falcons, fuck them for a minute. Brother. And I know they won the game. I don't give a fuck that they beat the Panthers. That's immaterial here.
Right.
Bro, they drafted Kyle Pitts in the top 5. They drafted Drake London in the top 10. And let me make myself clear here. Those gentlemen are good football players. They don't throw them the ball. And now part of this is the fact that the quarterback might be ass. That's what and last year the quarterback was like Marcus Mariota was ass.
Weekend.
Yes.
Weekend. How many targets did London have?
0. Was it 0 or 1? I know he has 0 catches.
Yo, he was there for vibes only,
brother.
He was there for vibes.
Case, look, are you looking at the stat? Are you looking at the box score right now?
Yes.
Go look at the receiving section. Look at it real good one time. I want you to notice something. Look at it.
I'm looking.
Look at the receptions column and look at the names.
Bro. First of all, remember Desmond Ridder, the first play of the game, he threw the ball, was deflected, he caught it.
Desmond Ridder had more catches than Drake London, bro. Desmond Ridder had more catches than Drake London in a professional NFL game, bro. Desmond fucking Ridder had more catches than Drake London in a fucking football game, dog. Think about it. It wasn't a trick play or nothing.
Was it? Yo, at one point in time, he had he was something for 22 yards. He had negative pass. Yo, bro.
Arthur Smith could go to hell. Like flat. And Arthur Smith keep doing this whole like, oh, I don't care about your fantasy team. And like, yo, I get it. You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to.
It's probably better for your real life team if you well, fuck all that for a minute. Your real life team stinks too. So it's like if this was like the Titans and people were beating Mike Vrabel over the head with, yo, get AJ Brown or Corey Davis or whatever the fuck the wide receiver at the time, get them the ball. Yeah, Mike Vrabel could tell us to go to hell because they've been winning that way. He could tell us to go to hell. Arthur Smith, the Falcons won what, 10 games in 2 years with them?
Mm-hmm.
And then like they just drafted Bijan. And granted, it's the first game, whatever. I think Algier outcarried him this week, if I'm not mistaken.
He did. Yo, bro, easily.
Yes,
easily
this week. Drake London was there for cardio. Kyle Pitts didn't catch a pass till like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It was an absurd catch, by the way.
Bruh.
The Falcons. Listen, you know what? I don't have nothing more to say, though. End the show. End the show. I'm gonna run my blood pressure up talking about those fucking clowns, bro. End the show.
Oh man. Once again, Jude lost his voice celebrating the Jets' phenomenal win last night. So that's the reason why he's not here. But you know he's always here in spirit. Make sure you follow Jude Truth at Jude Truth. Follow Kevin Lewis at KLEW24. Make sure you subscribe to the Underdog Fantasy Network. Kevin has a show on there with Coley Mick. The only teams that matter. Make sure you check that out. Follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at MLPosse9. Make sure you follow us on TikTok at middle_initial_pod on TikTok. Make sure you shop and buy the merch at mypod.store. And of course, shout out to our sponsor once again. If you made it this far into the show, shout out to Dads Are Cool. Go to dadsarecool2.com. Dadsarecool2.com. Use promo code MIPod69 and get 10% off your merchandise. Yo, happy 3-year anniversary, bro. It's been an amazing ride.
For sure. Hold up.
Hopefully we have some more celebrations. Oh, and one more thing before we go, before we leave. Yes, we do have a tailgate coming up. We have the Black Friday tailgate with Nicole, and I don't know her name, her real name. I know it's Noodle 2, something like that, whatever. But shout out, we do have a tailgate coming up, Black Friday tailgate, Patriots game. So make sure you guys come out. It's for a good cause. It's the first time we're gonna be helping out, giving back for a good cause. So definitely come out and support. And I'll be there for the first Patriots game. And that's it. Peace out. Since 5 or 69.